You're tuning in with 99.1 Zomboss Radio, and today I got a very interesting video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about my own experience with the black pill. Now, let me just say, oh man, I got some junk in the background. Let me just say, it's never over, yo. It's really never over, okay? The black pill will tell you that it's over. Let me just say right now, it's never over. Clearly, I have been pretty far ascended. I'm going to maybe put a picture on the screen, maybe like right here or something, showing what I used to look like. But I'm just be talking about my own experiences, and then I'm gonna be talking about the community that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build a positive community around a new ideology, just a gap in the market, basically. So, what do I mean when I say the black pill ruined my life? Like that's kind of like a big claim to make, but I'm very serious when I say that the black pill really did ruin my life. So, the number one thing that I got to show you guys, or not that I need to show you guys, but I published a video called I spent $5,000 simping before I was even out of high school. So that is a very mentally ill thing to do. That is a very mentally ill thing to do. And besides, like, I'm going to be so honest, guys. Like, I had anxiety. I was a little bit neurodivergent, but like, everyone has those things. Like, everyone's on the spectrum of neurodivergency. No one's truly neurotypical. You know, lots of people have anxiety. Like, besides that, I had like a pretty much a near perfect upbringing. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely did grow up in like I was lower class, but my parents are the type of people who are super frugal. So I was never aware that I was lower class until I was in public school, and I was at the age where people could like make fun of me for my clothing, my status, and stuff. Um, so basically, there was no reason for me to have a hard life. And the reason that I had a hard life, I blame very much so on the black pill. So, what is the black pill? If you don't know what that is, I'm not going to tell you about what it is because you don't need to know what it is. Beyond basically, it is the it is the assertion that society bases your worth on your looks, which there's a lot of experiences that people have that affirm this, and that's why the black pill is so commonly accepted. And but let me just say that I was not actually aware of the black pill until I was a little bit older. However, there is an ideology that is, I would say, kind of more prevalent in some ways, and in some ways, I mean, nowadays it's not as prevalent. But the incel community, so that is involuntary celibacy. That's people who cannot find a mate, basically, and the incel community has become the black pill. You know, they are one and the same. You know, people who used to identify as being an incel now just identify as being a KHHV black pillar. So that means a kissless, hugless, handholdless virgin. So that means somebody who hasn't done anything with a woman. So a lot of people are going to call themselves a KHV, and they're going to say they're in the black pill. They're not going to say they're incels. However, I really identified with. So the main reason that people identify with these things is because they are usually neurodivergent, and they get, it's really easy to pick up on patterns. So when you see someone presenting a whole bunch of patterns that fit in with your life, you're gonna be like, oh shoot, like this is like, this represents me, and I agree with this. You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm gonna drink some water. Stay hydrated, kings and queens, whoever's watching this video. But anyway, yeah. So basically, so basically what I want to talk about is how the internet is targets those with insecurities. So when you're kind of going through puberty, when you're just starting to go through puberty, you're super duper insecure, okay? And society is pushing like all this stuff that your worth is based on other people's feelings about you. Your worth is based on external validation. This is not true. However, you will believe this when you are at a younger age, because you don't have like the life and context to like know. So yeah, when I was a teenager, I was like a really young teenager, like 12 and 13. I looked like a nerd. I got bullied at school for being a nerd. I had big glasses with like huge frames. My hairline is super cooked. I shaved my head. Um, kind of just to stop hiding it, honestly. Like, I have hair right now. But I've always had the same hairline. I'll actually show it. I've always had this, which, as you can clearly see, it like goes a little bit more up on one side. And people just told me, oh, that's just where your hair parts. But that's not what it is. I just always had a chopped ass hairline, you know? And that's fine. I can accept it now. I mean, I'm wearing a beanie. It's because I like wearing beanies. Now I'm one of those people who just shaves my entire head. I'm gonna shave it actually after this video. Um, but yeah, because you can do that. But it's not now. It's not out of insecurity. Now it's just out of like I think I look better with a shaved head. You know what I mean? I just like it. I like the look on me. The reason I had so much hair for so long is because I wanted to hide it. So my first insecurity was realizing, yo, I got a crazy hairline. Like what the hell? And then trying to like do things with my hair to hide it because I knew that I would get made fun of at school for that. So I always had these like kind of silly little haircuts where I would just like push the hair down kind of in front of it. I might show a picture on screen again if I can find one. And yeah, I was insecure about that. So you would think, oh, okay, that's just one insecurity, like you weren't fat or anything, like, you know what I mean? You're a skinny dude. I could run really fast, so I'd play tag at recess and like I would win a lot of the time, I would get away. And then when I got tagged, I would be really easy to tag other people. So I wasn't I didn't have a lot that should have made me insecure, you know what I mean? But just that one thing was enough for me to turn to the internet to like look for answers. And I found I didn't even super like digest a ton of incel content or like BP content. I literally just like saw like a few things and like that just made me like more aware of my intense desire for validation, which I think that everyone has that, when you're a teenager, you are just insecure because you don't have a foundation of security of being a fully formed human yet. So you look for it from other people. And when I eventually, like, oh man, it's like it's tough to kind of like timeline this because I would see stuff that now looking back on it is clearly like BP psyop stuff, but I didn't like see of it like that. I just would like see doomer content and just be like, that's how it is, like girls they just want attractive muscular guys, and I was super skinny, and like not muscular. So my like perception of myself was by the time so in middle school I was getting bullied for I mean yeah, I was getting bullied for being a nerd. Like I was getting physically beat up, and eventually that stopped just because I had joined the track team. So I started to get like more fit, and once I got more fit, I was able to like have that like energy and like physical like grit to like push back against my bullies. And I mean, if you make yourself a hard target, you're not going to be a target. Like I know there's people who probably do fight back and like still get bullied, but like bullies usually pick on people who are like who they think aren't going to fight back at all, just are an easy target. A bully doesn't want to get punched in the face, even if they can pummel a kid afterwards. A bully doesn't want to get punched in the face. He wants to feel like he has power, and it reminds him he doesn't when it hurts. So when I was able to eventually just like hit my bullies back, I eventually it was people that I was like friend acquainted with, but then they became a little bit more friendly to me after that, and it just turned into like rough playing. So that was kind of my first like black pilling experience. Is that like, it's just that if you look different, like like people will treat you differently, and it's kind of funny because like I obviously like pushed back against my bullies, but I never got rid of that like feeling that like I looked a certain way. I looked different. And I had really nerdy hobbies too. So like I would like wear like really nerdy clothes. Like I would wear like Star Wars merchandise. I would wear like shirts with like SpongeBob and like Pinky and the Brain on it because I loved Animaniacs. So it was like stuff like that. Like I wasn't at that time. I was just trying to like I was blue pilled. I was just expressing myself, trying to be a nice person to everyone, and it got me nothing. Because I had a lot of female friends. And I'm honestly one of those people who like once I got close, like once I actually became friends with a girl, there was like I was just friends. Like I'm not one of those like weird creeps who always was just like wishing that they would date me. However, I did notice that every time I talked to a girl, I would do the things that other guys would do, just like make them laugh, like crack jokes, I would even compliment them. Like even when I was like a nerd, I would still like, oh, your hair looks so nice. You know what I mean? Like I was doing like everything that I thought could be possible in a school setting other than, because, I was aware that there was like more flirting I could maybe do. I didn't have a confidence for that, obviously, but like I knew like okay, like I'm doing like the right stuff, like, and it's true they would be friends with me, um, but it was always kind of weird. I was like, okay, so I have like talked to so many girls, and they're like my personality is clearly not the problem. My personality isn't the problem. They want to be my friend. So I was like, well, why has never any of them been attracted to me? You know, because again, like I'm talking to girls based on me, like genuine interest. You know what I mean? Like, I would obviously, think, oh, like this is a girl, she's attractive, but I wasn't like, I was just more like, I was just more kind of like, like, if I think all these girls are attractive, right? Why did none of them find me attractive? Like if I'm doing all this stuff that like ends up with a close friendship, like what would be different? Like, and to be honest, I couldn't think of anything. I mean like maybe like more confidence, like I guess like going forward into high school, that would have been it. But like we're talking about like middle school to like my freshman year is when I'm making a lot of female friends, and I was a I was identifying as a KHV. So I was like really confused because I was just like looking at myself, and I attached me getting bullied and then me having a good personality but no girls liking me to each other, which is a really negative thing to do because really they were separate. Really, they were just independent of that. I mean, dude, like girls aren't gonna be attracted to you in middle school. Chances are, you know what I mean? Because like the standard for what is attractive in a male is like things that come with puberty, right? So when I hadn't finished going through puberty, it's like you still look like somewhat feminine. You still have like facial fat. I had facial bloating, and like I had like not great skin, and I was wearing these like big glasses and I had like funny looking hair. So it's like I wasn't perceiving those things as being the problem. Like honestly, if I had just like, I mean, you shouldn't be like trying to fix those things. You shouldn't be hyper analyzing yourself at that age. But if I did, maybe I could have found like a girl that was into me. So COVID hit my sophomore year, so that kind of like made me be in quarantine. But my freshman year, I distinctly remember going to a football game and there being these two girls that me and my homies were talking to, and one of them was kind of like more quiet, and everyone was talking like to the one girl who was like more talkative, and I was like, dang, like why are my homies like not talking to this girl? Like I think she's pretty. She had like lashes on. Like not a lot of makeup. She had lashes on, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna try and talk to her, and I like, I don't know, she was like super quiet and like shy, but I just like kind of kept asking her questions, and like I just kind of like sat next to her and was just like talking to her, just on some really casual stuff. You know what I mean? The same thing that I had done to like make friends with people like beyond that. But I guess the one difference was that I asked for her Instagram. You know what I mean? Like that was the kind of one thing that I guess might have like shown a little bit of interest. I mean, I guess also sitting down like right next to her, as opposed to just like trying to standing around her like all my homies were doing to these two girls. Maybe that was also it a little bit. And I eventually, now I don't like we didn't date or anything, but we hung out in like me that these two friends like and my friends would hang out in groups, and I would like, I mean, I was so insecure. Again, you gotta remember, I still look like a nerd. Like, I had been doing track, so I had been, like, working on my body a little bit, but, like, I hadn't been working on my muscle or anything. I had just been working on stamina. So I still had a very low confidence from getting bullied. So I wasn't, like, I could tell that maybe she was into me, but, like, I was so, like, apprehensive to, like, to flirting with her because she was so shy. You know what I mean? So eventually I did like call her pretty, and at school like I gave her a hug a few times at school. Like that I remember like that being like a big thing, but like literally we just had so little to connect on cuz she was just so shy, and like I was just like it was not someone I was connecting with at all. Like, and this was one of those experiences where I was like realizing like like what I had done to make me successful with friends was just like being my authentic self. But then in this situation, like being my authentic self wasn't really like enough, you know what I mean? Because I was just like in my head like, okay, like we're not really talking, but like if I was hotter, like we'd probably be like making out right now. When really it was just my confidence. I could, I probably could have brought it to that, but I literally stopped talking to her out of insecurity, like literally type shit. I broke things off with her and said, "Oh, I don't want to like keep like hugging you after school and stuff, and I'm sorry." And that was like a hard experience, cause I was just so like awkward, I guess, every time hanging out with her because I was so afraid of making any of those first moves. Um, when really there was nothing stopping me. Like it was the perfect situation every time. Maybe hanging out in group environments was kind of the problem. I was like afraid of getting made fun of, but like my homies probably would be like, "Oh, they just made out. They just made out." Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it's like I was so like in my head about like that, I guess, that I never did anything. And then COVID hit. So then literally COVID hits like my sophomore year. So now I went from that being my only experience with a girl where I had like just got like cold feet and like dipped out. And I was really insecure about that. Like, dang, like I have no game, you know what I mean? Like I'm ugly, I'm chopped. And then sophomore year comes around and I was just in my house, and I had been doing track for a while. So my body is improving. I'm getting like leg muscle definition and like I had like a little bit of a gut, because like I just had a little bit of a gut and that was kind of going away. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember like working out or anything. I guess I would do like push-ups sometimes. Like that was literally it. But what it really was is like, I mean, just realizing my hair was horrible. Like I had this horrible haircut, so I started growing my hair out, which was really helpful. Once I started growing my hair out, I like I felt instantly more attractive. I had the kind of haircut where it went in front of my eyes. So cringe looking back on it. But I could put on a mask and go out in public and be like, okay, this is different. I started paying attention a little bit more to my fashion and stuff. But what you need to understand is the reason that things started to pick up for me, like, wasn't because I was doing these things for myself. It wasn't because I want to have better fashion, really. I mean, honestly, I did. I'm gonna be honest, I did. I did want to have better fashion. But the outfits that I was wearing, the ways that I was actually trying to have better fashion, the ways that I was actually trying to do that were strictly performative. I was literally dressing like, and this is absolutely insane to say, but I always knew that like there was like this meme going on where like girls have daddy issues. I would literally dress up like a dad. Like I'm so serious. I would wear like a button-up shirt and like cargo pants and like a hat. And like it was like kind of like a joke, but I would post that to my Instagram. Like that was like my style, is like wearing cargo pants. And then I was like, okay, I would always been a skater, so I got more into skating stuff. So that was my style. Is like I wear like cargo pants, cargo shorts, like a graphic t-shirt that's like maybe black or something, and some Air Force Ones. And I got my first girlfriend, like my first real girlfriend, during quarantine. And that was like through Snapchat. And this is actually okay. This is a very black pilling experience for me. I had been messaging her like months before, like maybe like during my freshman year, and she just blocked me. Like she just blocked me out of nowhere. I guess because I was too insecure to like have any sort of riz, you know what I mean? And like that was before when I had like messed up hair. Oh, actually I remember what it was. I was texting her back and forth, and then she snapped me. She snapped me low-key's like some freaky shit, like some freak shit. Like it was just like her like doing an arch, like not even no crazy freak shit. And I snapped back a picture of my face like, wow, that's cool. And she blocked me. Because, I mean, obviously what I should have said is like, wow, that's so sexy. I should have done like Hunter Eyes, but like I didn't have any kind of game, I was just trying to like show my genuine appreciation. And I got blocked. Then it's months later. I'm on a different Snapchat account, or maybe she was on a different Snapchat account. And I guess I was just like messaging her back and forth for a while. And now you gotta imagine I have this hair that's like going in front of my eyes. I kind of have the e-boy look. That's what it was. That's what it was actually. When I say I dressed like a dad, I was wearing a collared shirt with a sweatshirt over it. And that was just like the trend. And this was like a very chronically online individual. So she's complimenting my style. She's saying, oh, that's cool. I like that. Literally because this is like a neurodivergent person who is like addicted to trends online. And I'm dissing a little bit, but I get to diss. And I was literally like doing these things performatively, like having my hair in front of my eyes out of insecurity of having a cooked hairline, obviously, clearly. I would send pictures with a mask on, like what? Not all of them were like that, but like I was dressing performatively, and it worked. I worked. I shot my shot, and I was kind of talking for a while, and I asked her to be my girlfriend or something like that. I don't remember. I like went over to her house and like we did stuff, and like I remember thinking that like I remember thinking that this wouldn't happen again. Like I just remember being like, this is so like not gonna happen again to me. Like I got so lucky. Like, and this is why this is what the black pill does to you. It's because if you think that your worth is just your looks, and you think that your looks aren't that good, you're gonna hide everything that makes you interesting. And you're gonna think that your value is way lower than it is. So like when a girl's talking to you, you're gonna be like, oh my god, like I have to do everything to keep this girl liking me. So that's what I did. And you can go watch the video. I spent $5,000 simping. I talk about my 3 relationships, and I'm just gonna kind of go forward, from this one. But it was a really poor relationship. Like it was a really bad relationship where I was simping. I was spending a lot of money. I was spending a lot of time, spending a lot of like emotional stuff for pretty much nothing in return. And this person had depression, but like if I had self-respect, I would just realize after a while, okay, we did stuff, we had fun, it's not working out. But because I thought that it would never happen again, like I literally thought it would never happen again. So I just stayed in the relationship as long as possible until the point where I was getting broken up with, they'd get with someone and then get back with me. And we would barely even do anything. It would just be like through the phone, you know what I mean? So that was very black pilling, because well, honestly, what you should realize, what a really smart person, what a mature person would realize, which I wasn't, because again, this is my sophomore year of high school. What a mature person would realize is like, hey, I was super performative, right? I did things to make the relationship happen, and then it went bad. So I'm gonna not do those things going forward. But if you're an insane person at this point, I was in the black pill community. At this point, people are rating me low. And people are like, I would pull my hair up and people would be like, oh, yeeks, brother. And it was because I had bad skincare. I had facial bloating from like, just like bad hygiene and stuff. So I didn't really look that attractive. My like best features were not presented. And I got into another relationship, and this was kind of crazy. This person actually had like, it was like word on the street type shit, because this person was someone who was just like really popular and really hated. So like everyone was gossiping about her, and literally this girl we matched on like a dating app, which is like a really chronically online one where you can match with anyone from like all of the United States. It tries to get people close to you, but nobody was really using this app at the time. So when I found someone who was near me, and like she had like long hair, it was dyed just like my ex. She was like makeup frauding. I'm not saying that wearing makeup is frauding. I wear makeup sometimes, but like she could do way better makeup looks than my ex could. I'm gonna just say that. So I was like, dang, this girl's really hot. So apparently she had already like heard about me. She had already heard on the street, yo, this guy's spending money. Like this guy's guapped up. Like this guy's got a job. Like he'll do all this stuff. Like, and I mean, I won't go into none of the freak shit, but like, yeah, she like knew I was on some timing, so she wanted to like get with me. But really I saw this as like a good thing. I saw this as like, oh, cool. Like I'm finally like moving up by being performative. So this was another blackpilling experience, because I realized that if I like just shilled these parts of me, that like that would work. And it did work again, but it was an even worse relationship where she was super controlling and just like was telling me I couldn't talk to people. Like I couldn't talk to anyone in that relationship. And I was so blackpilled that I thought that was where I deserved to be, because I was like, okay, that last relationship kind of didn't work out, but it conditioned me to believe that like this is what relationships are like for me. I was like, okay, I'm subhuman. You know what I mean? Like I can fraud, I can hair fraud, I can put hair in my face, I can like, wear these sort of outfits. Now I will say that during this time in my life, I had become so basically, I'm starting this new movement. I'm going to now talk about it because you've been watching this long. I'm starting this new movement called the Green Pill. And the Green Pill is a whole bunch of stuff, which I will be talking about. Link to the document in the description, just going over a few basic stuff. But basically, the Green Pill has to do with enriching yourself for yourself. So I didn't even realize I was doing it. I basically fell into alternative culture, which was just like really positive for me and really green pilled me. Yeah, so basically I I eventually got out of that relationship and it wasn't because I felt like I had more. It wasn't because I got self-respect. It was actually because I ran out of money, and I was afraid. I just thought that like, I was like, okay, relationship's over. I don't have anything to provide besides money, so I just felt like I had to move on. You know, I wasn't getting very much in return. Again, you can go watch the other video, how I spent $5,000 simping, because I don't want to go over too much. But basically, I was alone for a while, just trying to like focus on myself. Which I mean, I was trying to focus on myself, but because like the stuff that I was doing, I didn't realize how positive it was. If you know what I mean, like there was stuff I was doing that was really positive for myself. Like I was still doing track, I was still running. I didn't understand that was the really like positive, like healthy stuff. I actually didn't do a season. I did track and cross country, and I didn't do track for one season because I was dating my ex. I was just spending all my time on her. So then I got back into running. I did a cross country season, and I'm like, okay, like I'm back in this. Like my body's healthy, you know. I got better style now, and yeah, the black pill really had me in its grips because I didn't. Looks maxing is a popular thing now, but the black pill, like you really got to understand, the black pill is really just tells you you're cooked. You're cooked. You know, looks maxing is a thing now, but that stuff was really gatekept. You know, so it was just being told to me that I was cooked. So I started talking to this girl. We had like done stuff for a little bit, and then she just ghosted me, and I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense that she just wanted to use my body and like wasn't really into me for me because like I'm not hot enough, you know. If I was prettier, if I was like in a pretty boy, she would just want to like stay with me like and like want a relationship. So that was another. So again, I had 3 maybe 4 like stuff that I've had with girls, all super black pilling, and then I got in a 3-year long relationship after this where in this because I was in a committed relationship for 3 years, I spent a ton of time doing green pilled stuff. So I spent a ton of time green pilling. But I was still in a black pilled relationship, if you know what I mean. I was still in a relationship where I was being what's called a oofy doofy. I was just like letting her walk all over me. I was doing whatever she wanted, taking her on dates all the time, you know, just like having intercourse, like barely ever, you know, because I would just like wait around for it. I wouldn't be the one trying to initiate as much because I believed that I didn't deserve it as much because, again, black pilled. So yeah, I guess after that relationship, like by the end of the relationship, I was fully green pilled. Like I was full green pilled. Like I had to kind of work on myself more to like really get the black pill out of me because I stayed in the black pill space. But yeah, so anyway, the next video that I'm going to drop is going to be about the green pill. This YouTube channel is dedicated to the green pill. I tried to get a few videos out, just like talk about my experiences. But yeah, that's my trajectory of how the black pill ruined my life because I had like intense mental health issues from girls telling me they love me and like me saying it back and like me like deep down knowing they don't mean it, you know, when really I realized now that it's just because, you know, people are young. That's it. People are young. But what I felt like it was is like they were just manipulating me and like I was in love and they weren't. And now I realize I wasn't in love either. I was just young, you know, but that's how it is. And like all my experiences like it really affirmed the black pill. But okay, so basically I'm going to talk about the green pill for a little bit. Let me get some water. So the blue pill and the red pill and the black pill and the green pill, every single pill says that confidence is key, right? So I'm just trying to show you guys that like, just because you get a girlfriend, you know, just because you're not an incel anymore, that's not going to save you from the black pill. Because if you only get better for the black pill, you're always going to have this like deep foundation of insecurity. And basically the green pill is just, it's different than the clear pill because the clear pill tells you to just forget about women, just like work on yourself. And it's a little bit of the clear pill. The green pill is telling you basically you need to work on developing yourself. You need to find yourself because yourself has nothing to do with external validation. It doesn't. Even if you feel like that's your purpose, it's not. It's other things. So once you realize, okay, I'm not a black pillar. I am a skateboarder or I am a distance runner. Like I could have identified with those things. You know what I mean? I could have really identified with those things and I would have had more self-respect, but I didn't. So basically the green pill is about hobby maxing, right? So finding purpose in life through hobby maxing. It's about mental health through affirmation. You know, instead of saying bad things about yourself, saying I'm chopped, it's over. You're saying good things about yourself every day, like my value does not predicated on my looks. There also has to do with looks maxing, okay? But the looks maxing in the black pill is doing it for other people's validation. Looks maxing in the green pill is doing it backwards. Like you deserve to eat a healthy diet, right? Like you deserve to feel good, right? You do. You're worth it. So the green pill is going to make you healthier by making you exercise and making you have a healthy diet because it feels good. And then you're just going to look more attractive because that's what you need to do to become more attractive. Like you deserve to do skincare because you deserve to like feel your face and it feel good. You don't deserve to have a whole bunch of pimples, you know? And of course that's going to make you more attractive. So the green pill is basing everything on you and your own value. And that's going to give you more self-respect. That's going to give you higher self-esteem. And it's gonna. So the green pill is body positive. The green pill is never gonna shame you for being overweight. Because if you find true peace, that can be found at any size. However, chances are you're gonna feel better if you exercise really hard and you lose the weight. It's gonna be healthier for you. So that's why the green pill is kind of the answer to the black pill because it doesn't deny lookism. The main tenet of the black pill and the green pill is the black pill says that your value is determined by your looks. The green pill says that your value is people make assumptions on your value based on your looks because that's all they have to go off of. Someone who's wearing an outfit and is fully looks maxed, people are going to think, oh, that person must care about themselves. That's probably because they're a valuable person, right? So it's going to, but again, if you're black pilled and you don't actually have that value as a person, it's going to crumble. It's going to erode in time, you know? But if you are green pilled, you know, and you actually have a sense of confidence, if you get in a bad relationship where you're getting taken advantage of, you'll be like, hey, I'm worth more than this. I'm gonna dip out. And if you're super green pilled, you're gonna be able to support a relationship with, like, if you find your person, you're gonna be able to have a good, healthy relationship. Black pillars never get married. You know what I mean? Like, because they're so deeply insecure. Oh, what if I'm not attractive enough, you know? Or they're just focusing so much on their partner's attractiveness that they think that body count matters. When the green pill is basically saying body count doesn't matter. Trying to bang hoes doesn't matter. You're not gonna get fulfillment from that. You're gonna get fulfillment from working on yourself. And if you work on yourself really hard, you're gonna be able to get a higher value hoe. You know, I shouldn't say hoe. I'm just like saying that because it's a slang term. But you're going to be able to find a higher value woman, and higher value people are going to want to be around you. You know, because if you find a woman who, like, women are green pilled. You have to be green pilled to be a woman. You have to have interests and hobbies and looks max and diet. Like, the green pill is just like the female experience for men type shit, you know? Except for like a little bit healthier, you know, because the female experience is pretty black pilling. Let me just say that. So basically, yeah. So that's the basis of the green pill. I'm gonna make another video about it. That's the answer. It's the answer to everything that has to do with the black pill because it doesn't deny the black pill. It accepts the black pill and just builds off of that. And it's just critical of the basis of it. And yeah, I'm really down with this green pill stuff. I'm really down with working on like men's mental health. Another big aspect of the green pill that I should probably say is fashion and self-expression. So if you watch this entire video and you're like, God damn, this guy lost the plot. He needs to talk about fashion again. My actual channel will have a lot to do with just encouraging people to express themselves through fashion and teaching people how they can feel better in any kind of style. I'm going to be going into, see, this is the best way for me to mix my two like hobbies, fashion and men's mental health, because I can experiment with different kinds of style to show people how they can wear that kind of style, and then encouraging men to dress however they want is going to make you kind of find your own identity, and it's going to make you associate with something that isn't the black pill, you know, being a skater, you know, being an outdoorsman, you know, being like a beach guy, you know, being a surfer, you know, anything, literally anything. Anything's better than the black pill. That's why I'm making the green pill. It's just like, it's just better. Anyway, Zomboss out. Drop a like if you like this video. Drop subscribe if you want to see more. There's a Google Doc that has some like green pilled information. I'm going to be building on it all the time, making a much bigger document, publishing other documents, making like hyperlinks between them. And yeah, so check that out if you want more information about the green pill. I'm going to be dropping more, so hit that notification bell. If you have some black pilled experiences, you can drop a comment down below. But this, I'm not going to argue with people. You know, I'm not going to argue with people. People saying, oh, the black pill's true, bro. The black pill's true, bro. you're just projecting your insecurity onto me. And I'm not insecure anymore because I'm green pilled. So it doesn't work. That's the best part of the green pill is like once you have inner security, you can fail and it's not going to be a problem because you're not insecure. You're secure in knowing that failure happens to everyone. So yeah, I hope I can help you with this video. I hope this video did something for you. You know, check out my other videos on my channel. Links in the description if you want to listen to my music. And I am out, yo. Bye.